Good evening. Welcome to our live Facebook. This is Martin here. And I think many of you have probably, be away of or for holiday, I suppose. Or some of you, I just came back. As a matter of fact, from a short trip to Penang. So you will notice last Friday for the breakfast show, as well as this Monday for the breakfast show for the SMARTRobie were cancelled as I was away. But I'm sort of doing a consolation for tonight, just before the Merdeka celebration tomorrow. So I'd like to wish all of you who Malaysians, as well as some of you who are from overseas, a happy Merdeka Day, right? As the country is going through a new year 2023 under the new federal government, under the 10th Prime Minister Dato Sri Anwar, and we wish our country Malaysia all the great prosper that we have, and yet we will be having another by-election in the coming month of I think probably next month. So with that, let's get on to what is the topic for tonight, and give us a thumbs up if you are happy with this video, and do share and like this video in your timeline. Really appreciate, as tonight we'll be talking about another brewing situation that we see in the KLSE. Of course, those of you who are regular in our Trade VSA community, as well for the SmartRobie community, probably know the context that I'll be talking about, which is the small cap stocks. And of course, for those of you who are generally the first time coming to this video, you may realize we are always one of the leader in terms of financial technical analytics that we see, and powered by Pentagon Guider. And tonight's topic is something that I've talked about even in the beginning of this month, about the small cap stock. And I'm going to be sharing with you tonight what I think are likely to happen. And of course, those of you who are watching and will be using some of the idea that I talk about tonight in here, definitely you don't want to miss on. And some of the ideas may work, which is really a passing on a week-to-week basis that we'll always share on every Wednesday night. And of course, for our members for the Trade VSA, we are really sort of following up what we shared with you on Monday for the weekly training for our premium member, and do consider becoming our premium members, as there are more things that I shared and more of the systems that we have, which is very opportunistic for those of you who is willing to take this. So do share this video in your timeline, and let's get started. So tonight's topic is definitely about the stock market that is lagging, right? And if you look at it, just 2 or 3 days ago, before we see the rebound on the US market, and this is all because of the meeting that is happening in Jackson Hole by US Fed Chairman, and there is a likelihood of a pause, perhaps a 50% chance of a pause in the interest rate in this coming September, and that's why suddenly the market is rebounding. So you can see also a couple of things I will share with you further on the slide, but more importantly is the underlying current that many of you may not know about this. But of course, for our members, I've been talking about it, which is the small cap stock and the mid cap 70 stocks about that. So tonight's agenda is about why is our Bursa FBM KLSE lag behind, and perhaps dwell into the situation why the small cap stocks are rebounding, and what kind of criteria for the small cap stocks rebounding that you want to look at, and also look at the opportunities that we have right now, and probably just going to sum up in here. And of course, tomorrow is a public holiday. We have the 31st of August, our Merdeka Day in here. And for those of you who are going over to Putrajaya to celebrate it, do take caution as the traffic wise, or you may want to choose the public transport in here. So let's take a look at the definition of a small cap stock from a Bursa standpoint. We are looking at somewhere in between 250 million to 450 million. That's the range of the market cap in here, and we want to look for a price that is above 19 cents onwards, preferable 49 cents above. And that's really a reason behind this, because this is due to a lot of our VSA 360 backtesting research have shown this price range will give the best opportunity in terms of elevating your trading income or trading profits going further in here, and I'll share a bit more to it. And you want also to avoid the low floating shares. That's why in our VSA 360 we do have this what we call floating shares, and we want to have at least 60 to 70% of the floating shares to avoid sometimes business owners, the so-called shareholders who regularly do not want to sell the share. So if you don't have those shares floating, then possibility of exiting may not be available. So that's why you want to make sure you want to dwell into those shares that has high floating shares in here. Now this is from Trading View. If you want to look at those company with the very small market cap, as you can see here, you can go over to this tradingview.com with /small market in here, and you'll notice many of these stocks are 2.3 million, 3.5 million, 7.7, 11 and 12 million. These are very, very small, but those definition that I gave you just now early on, right? If you still remember, we are talking somewhere between 250 to 450 million. So this one, you can see below 10 million can die one, no? And you'll also notice the price is less than 1 cent. This is half a cent, 3.5 cents, and this is 2.5 cents. It's kind of 2.5. So one tick movement can go either way, and also many of this time the volume are not that liquid in here. And a very good evening to Nora. Thank you for your support. Unfortunately, Monday, there's a hiccup. You're not able to join our weekly training, so make sure you pick it up from the next time in here. Okay, so with the small cap stock, still continuation with the theme in here, because we felt that this has the best opportunity. Now, if you remember, when I first talked about small cap stock was on 1st of August, that was the last update, and this is where the stock is. It actually hit a support level. That's where we see around 1540, 15,1500, and since then you could see the market in the last update that we have here, market really hold on. You can see the support and resistance, and from then onwards, the last update, market choose to move sideways for a week, and that's usually what we call the market stages. The market pause and then come back in, and then since then has moved up 4.3% in here, while we have seen also the KLSE did try, but sort of faltered back in here, and today has an upthrust that you see in here. But as I said before, if you've been listening to some of the key points that I talk about on the 1st of August, the small cap stocks is generally where you want to be focusing in here, and that's how we find this information sharing that will put you into the right spot, so you're able to pick up some of these things in here. A 4.3% move since we last talked about it, which is quite a good. Now some of the benefit of a small cap stock, you can see this little picture up here is institutional, the big banking institutional, and next is what do we associate with that thing that we see there, a motorboat, a speedboat, a fast speedboat. That's right. Now, two interesting criteria of small cap stock is the high return. The high return, because it's very small, as I said before, between market cap between 250 to 400 million, and generally we're talking about 19 cents and above. Remember, 19 cents and above. So a big move between 20 to 22 cents, excuse me, that will give you a 10% return. Now compare to a large cap stock at 5 ringgit to 5.10 will only give you a 2%. So the quantum of movement is also huge. And then another thing is also less institutional attention and analyst coverage. That's why some of these stocks are able to move up. By the time, if you notice that these stocks, small cap stock, are covered by the big analysts in here, many of this movement already jalan. So these are really under the radar. And because they are under the radar, some of these stocks you can get in, and that's why it's very, very important. As I say time and time again, you want to make sure that there's enough liquidity, enough volume of the stocks that you are looking into it before the big guys, the big boys, the analyst coverage or the institutional. Another thing you also notice that we have on the VSA 360 is the what we call the peak and valley. Now the peak and valley is something that our premium members does get here. You can see the big swing, the up 10%, the down 9%, the up 5%, the down 6%, up 2%, down 2.5%, up 5%, down 2%, another swing up 5%. These are the swing that we are talking about in here, and that's why we don't think buy and hold will work, because the stock's just going to stay stagnant. So this is where you want to be up on the upswing, and you want to take your profit before the downswing, and that's where we use volume spread analysis, VSA, as part and parcel of the green pentagon and the red pentagon to exit and entry in here. Now, if you look at this, some of you may notice, very interesting enough, comparing the FBM SC, which is the small cap index, and the FBM 70, the mid cap stock, has outperformed KLCI by far. And anyone want to guess what reason is why the KLCI is lagging behind the FBM 70? Even technology stocks is still up at 1%, but FBM CLKL, going back to year to date, which is around the first week of January, it is still down minus 1.5. Anybody want to guess why is the KLCI lagging behind the small cap stocks and also the mid cap stocks as well as the technology? Anybody want to guess? Why is this a phenomenal that many of you may not observe? And that's why I'm going to share this fact with you so that you are well informed that the small cap stocks, which you can get it from the trading view in here, usually outperform the FBM 70. Anybody want to give me an answer? Try. All right, give it a try. Anyone want to see why FBM 70, which is up until year to date, is up 9.8%, up 9.8%, up, and then FBM small cap is up 7.5%, and then KLCI is down minus 1.5. Yes, Nora got it right. It's because the KLCI has all the finance stocks and also has utility like Tenaga, the Tenaga and all those. Only yesterday, if you go back and look at your SmartRobie or your VSA 360, did we have the breakout on Maybank, Green Pentagon, and Public Bank, Green Pentagon? That was yesterday bar. All right, yesterday bar. And this is because also due to foreign funds, whenever ever they want to push up those shares, they would have to buy Tenaga, they will have to buy Maybank or Public Bank. And Nora got it right because of the financial sectors and the heavyweight, and that's why it's always a lagging sector. So the small cap stock is like that fast speedboat. Remember, just think of it, the fast speedboat that we saw, and no coverage by institutional or analysts. That's the image. Remember the building I just showed with you, and the fast speedboat. That's what trading small cap stock. So when you have a small cap stock with a designated target profit or profit, you want to exit. You want to exit, and that's how you want to do it in here. The small cap stock and FBM 70. So like this image here, the small cap. So when you think of small cap stock, think of the high fast speedboat in here. So what are the challenges? Being fast, there are risks, isn't it, right? The volatility that you've seen the market swing up, swing down, swing up, swing down in here. So if you are unwilling to cut loss, right, it's very, very dangerous. Don't trade the smart cap stock, because the smart cap stock don't take any prisoners. Everything can die one. They can slice your throat here and you mati keras. So that's why it's important. It's to study those charts, use the green pentagon to your advantages. And of course, I have said this many, many times before in our breakfast show on Monday. Use the SmartRobie apps. We have a watch list. Remember, right? Watch list where you can put all those stocks that you like into it. Whenever you get a green pentagon or red pentagon, you will be notified. Use that to your advantages, and that's why we have these tools to tell you that. So the small cap stocks is very, and also liquidity. As I said before, early on, I shared with you the trading view, talk about the tweeny weeny market share. Some of those are less than 10 million and they're below 1 cent, all right? And that's why if you look at it, daily volume is important, and later on I'll share with you how we look at it, and some of you may have seen some of the older video, and also the VSA setup. We want to make sure the setup is still in the stage 1, ready to move to stage 2 and not started to break down. And also we prefer if there is a pullback, better still, but some of the stocks may have moved higher, and that's where we are looking at. So good news, and that's why we are seeing, as I said before, Maybank and Public Bank, the stocks came back, right? Remember yesterday we have the green pentagon for the Maybank. If not, check it out on the SmartRobie apps. If you have your phone with you in here and you will notice this type Maybank, you notice green pentagon was yesterday, and that's why you notice that yesterday and the day before they started to come back. They were outflow, but the last 3 days was inflow, and today I think if you see the small cap stock and the mid cap stock, FBM 70 and the FBM SC, they are taking lead. The big brother, the Taiko in this case, the heavyweight, the KLSE will probably follow through. And you can see, right, the difference, 9% return year to date for FBM 70, and I think year end you probably end around 15 to 16%, because I've seen the kind of trend that it did. And how do I know that? Check out the VSA 360 if you have that in the seasonal monthly, and that's something, a great tool I like to share with you for those of you who have not used the VSA 360 and become a member of our premium membership. Now, of course, all this amiss if some of these things are new and you're not able to change your strategy, especially those of you who is coming on from what we call the buy and hold era, the big dinosaur, I would say, buy and hold. So resisting change can be an issue when you're trading a small cap stock. But having said that, small cap stocks can give you the kind of viability if you have a plan, if you have a coach, if you have a system. And that's what we wanted to share with you tonight in here, which many people want to maintain the status quo, which is the biasness. Like in this cartoon in here is that, would you like the shovel? All right, but some people say, yeah, I'm quite happy using a spoon, to try to trade. And that's the whole purpose in here. Don't resist change. So let what I've shared with you tonight will open up your eyes in here. Now, many average trader don't have the right mindset to trade the small cap stock, or probably unskilled, especially if you're coming from the old traditional buy and hold, right? And you listen to your friends, and that will be definitely a problem. So you don't have a plan, you don't want to cut loss, as I said before, because small cap stock is like the fast speedboat, right? Can turn in here. Cutting loss is very important. As soon as I see red pentagon or anything move, right, what we call against me, I will cut loss, right? Very important. But if the stocks move ahead, I let it run until I see a certain sign of weakness. We know that, right? Like uptrust, climatic change, huge volume. That's where I wanted to take profit too. So those are very important because we rely on the system. We don't rely on tips. Okay, a system is very important to ensure that we are constantly ahead of the game. And also very important is the continuation of getting educated. Here at Trade VSA, co-founder of Trade VSA, as well as the Pentagon Guider creator and also a student of VSA, and also Tom Williams, I'd like to share with you. We all very important is to share my learnings with you so you get educated in the right way, whether it's investing or it's trading, so that way you stay informed of any changes in here. So having the right system to trade in the market, it's very important. Do we still want to follow other or just trading the blue chips? If you are happy with the blue chip return, stay along. There's nothing wrong with it. But if you want to learn and invest your time and want to trade and want to make more money trading the small and mid cap stock, that is something that you want to consider going, or probably you just want to buy and hold many of the good FA stock. After all, some of you just may say, Martin, you already say Maybank turn green pentagon. I buy and hold, just don't have to do anything. Also can whatever fits you in here. Remember, having the right mindset is important. But I'm going to share with you some of the big benefits. If you're able to trade the small cap stock, the reward is very, very sounding. So what strategy work for Bursa? It all depends on the mindset that you have. If you're coming up from the traditional mindset in here, maybe buy and hold may fit you. But if you have a small capital and you wanted to see money, take money, ability to cut loss, have a plan, have a system, that's something will work in favor. Now, I'll share this time and time again in the breakfast show, and you'll notice many of the stocks that I talk about in here are generally do very well, like 48%, XL Force 39%, then there is Wells 86%, RGB, right, 41%, go on top of it, right, then suddenly make U-turn and fall, isn't it, right? Advanced Corn, all this, right? So, and also more recent one is Ewing 80%, and not to forget IWCT, almost 141%, and that one's, I think, turned green pentagon sometime in July in here, right? So these are some of the stocks I talk regularly. And now you don't have to so-called, take my advice with it. Open up the SmartRobie apps, check out when did this stock turn green pentagon, and look at what's happening on the left hand side of the chart just before it turned green pentagon, right? What are those condition of this market? And if you can learn about them, able to catch one of them like IWCT in here once a while, right? With 100%, that's great. Putting a $10,000 trade will probably double it, right? Have a 20,000. And if the trade don't work, cut loss. Very important. You must cut loss in here. Again, this is why we trade a small cap stock, and also catch also went up about 100% in here. Time and time again. So trading the small cap stock definitely have great challenges like this playing in here. If you don't have the right checklist, again, very, very volatile because of the quantum, 20 cents going to 22 cents is almost a 10%, and also liquidity set up like that in here. So what we want to do is recommend you a system. We call it the VSA Turbo Trading, and I've shared this a lot with our members during the weekly and also the monthly. And this coming month, I will share with you the result of our back testing for the US market, and I'm going to surprise you. The results are very, very good for the last 5 years that we have, and that's where we want to make this available to our members and able to gain the knowledge that they have. And if the Malaysian market don't do so well, you can trade the US market and use the same system, the Pony Express system in here, which means you ride only fast horse. Okay, I repeat, you ride only fast horse. If the horse you're riding not moving, tak jalan, what do? You cut loss, right? You get off from the horse. And so make sure your losses are small, then you're able to ride it. So right now we are focusing on the small and mid cap stock in here. We actually share a normal checklist that we have, and so tonight I'm just gonna share a bit of the checklist. It's a step by step gap, and the question is whether you have the willingness to do it. Now I have to say, if you're coming from the old background that is used to buy and hold, maybe there's something you want to try out, and that's why being a premium membership, joining our Trade VSA 360, we have the virtual trade, right? You can join the virtual trade website that we prepared, the trading platform. We're giving you monopoly money or paper money for 50,000 ringgit, and then you want to try it out. Do maybe like 10 or 20 trades on the virtual trade. See how you go with the Pony Express system in here, like what Nora said, right? Only fast horse, right? Remember, right? Like those I share with you during the breakfast show, like Ewin, IWCT. All right, I'm not saying that you will catch him. There are some you may not catch it. You end up catching some of the fast, slow horse, right? But at least we're having that system and allow you to catch this fast horse in here. Now the next thing is just practice, and guided by our orientation and our weekly training that we do every Monday night. We just did one in here. So again, as part of our regular Wednesday, we want to showcase to you our stock screener in here, and of course the focus will be on VSA 360 Pentagon Guider screener in here, which is very much how we pick up some of the big winners that we have. And I think last week we have one UEM which we took profit, we share with the members. I think we got about 12% return in just 1 week in here, and we did pick a couple of things here. So for VSA 360, we have this very important ST and LT. All right, ST and LT, where we want to ensure we pick stock that is trending up in a mid stage 2 with green ST LT in here, where it is above the support. That's where the bullishness is there, and this is also to ensure you have a higher winning rates and stock that's ready to move up higher. After all, it is a criteria for picking Pony Express, right? Fast horse, isn't it? Kuda yang boleh berlari. Kuda berlari. Not Tai Ma Choi, Tai Ma Choi is illegal, okay? Especially, we have a lot of Muslim friends in here. Here, tonight, I want to teach you to ride the fast horse, Pony Express. menunggang kuda yang pantas sekali. Itulah cara kita. So we use ST greater than 5%. We use LT, which is long term. ST is short term, greater than 0.5. So in our VSA 360, you have a whole list of columns, and later on we'll share with you how to use the turnover. And we also have this particular corner. The last row is the percentage to date, which means from the green pentagon to the current trading day, which is in this case today, that will be the percentage. And the whole point is that we want to make sure a stocks that has not run yet, which means the percentage between the price difference from the Pentagon Guider to today's date shouldn't be too high or too low. And from then onwards, we will also judge the setup of the trade. And the setup of the trade is important in here, and that's how we're able to pick a lot of winners. And usually if you, after green pentagon, the stocks were able to move a bit more. If it doesn't move, that's where we want to cut loss. And that's ensuring we menunggang kuda yang pantas, the fast horse in here. Now this is where we get the members to go into virtual trade. For the members, you're given a 50,000 ringgit in here, and you buy up to about 5 stocks. These are some of the last week's stocks. V Solar, we taken profit. SCGM, we cut loss. Pekat, I'm going to share with you what we did early on. In our last session, we taken profit on UEM. Pekat also, we taken profit. We cut loss on GDB, right? GDB fell off, and it wasn't really confirmed. And also SCGM, okay, SCGM in here. So this week idea, I'm going to do a demo in here, and these are some of the ideas that we pick up on the on Monday during our training in here. And once you log into our virtual trade at SmartRobie.com, and you will be given an account of 50,000, and this is where we do our live training every Monday. You can also follow me and do similar trades on that purpose. So once you join our VSA 360, you will be given an account, and you need to just go over to the just re-log in here. You can see US side already turned green Pentagon Dow Jones. So I'm just informing the members, these respective, the FBM, KLCI, the STI will turn green Pentagon, because Taiko already turned green Pentagon, right? So the rest is going to turn very, very soon. Same thing lah, when Taiko turn red Pentagon, all going to turn red Pentagon. So what we want to do here is the current one, 38. So we just want to go back to 28. Okay, 28, and now we select ST minus 0.5, no, LT 0.5 and ST. So this is our criteria for selecting the fast horse, because we want to select the stage 2 uptrend shares. If you don't know what stage 2, just Google the market stages in our training, or you can go over to our learning center, or you can go over, once you log in, to our knowledge help, there we have all the training. And that's where I first introduced the turbo trading method, the Pony Express. The video is all there. You can just log in and watch that video in here. And we also have the backtesting rules all shared in here. That's really one of why we like to invite all our members to go through the training, and all this video is available for them to stay in touch. That's why we're talking about the change mindset that you have. So going back to on the 28, so we select the 28 here, we put in the minus 0.5, ST 0.5. Now if you have any questions regard to the Pentagons, feel free to answer that. So you can see from here, next thing we want to do is sort out the turnover. We want to make sure the highest turnover, and we go for those that is generally high volume and above 19 cents. Remember we talked about 19 cents? So Valesto will be the one. So you can take a look at Valesto. So you can see Valesto has turned green Pentagon, pull back, but that's where we don't want to buy. We want to see stock that is red. Just one of the things good about the VSA 360, you don't need to go to the stock, you just need to look at the setup. And that's why we design such a way you can just mouse over it. So if 2 bar down, not good. We wait for 1 more bar, go back up, then we want to go in. This one WCT, this one not bad. WCT boleh. Okay, WCT, you can see a 2 bar started to move up. In here you got an up thrust, and usually some of the bars, remember Muhiba? Right, let me just show you Muhiba, how it looks like. MUHIB. Okay, and this is a kind of trade that I like. You see here, now no doubt now got red Pentagon, but here you can notice, right, this is a widespread, this is a Pentagon bar, 2 bar down, then third one akan datang 5%. So this is where we also looking into this. You see WCT, right? Not WCT. Yang mana? Yeah, WCT. See that? That is also how we look for those shares. Okay, so this is free sharing with you. All right, so just get hold of these stocks and you're able to pick it up much easier. And it hasn't run yet. This is what we talk about. So from the WCT Green Pentagon to 30th of August, which is today, it's only up 0.8%. Of course, there are some went down we don't want to look at. Like you can see ASB. I think ASB went down. This is got to do with the unknown counter lah. Just wait for it. Yeah, you can see, oh, it's holding up nicely. May break up, okay, down 6%. Some CY Park has gone up. Okay, I think CY Park 76 cents also not bad. This one here, we just see, yep, CY Park, but you can see after it gone up, you have a 2-bar reversal where we see this down bar here, okay, and up bar, so you have to be careful in here. So we again go back to the turnover. So WCT, okay, fits into that. Most important is ST and LT must be green color. The fact that you put minus 0.5 for the LT and minus 5, you will be on the right line. So CY Park, okay, Pharma Niaga, 43 cents, 73,000 in here. Pharma Niaga is very good. You can see the setup, 1 bar pullback. This one is very nice. 1 bar pullback. So this is how we are able to filter up the small cap stock. Kuda yang akan cepat berlari. That's how we like. So this is how we can look. Pharma Niaga, Pentec has came back down. I remember one of the member did ask about on Tuesday. Yesterday we did that. So what I did was actually I chosen a few stocks. One of them I liked was George Ken. You can see why I like George Ken. Very similar, but I do think that given a choice, WCT setup is much better. You see WCT, this 2 bar here, side by side, similar to Muhiba. That's one of the trend in here. And then George Ken, you can see George Ken also construction down 2%, pullback in here. That's one of the stocks I was looking at. So you can look at 28. You can also look at 29. Again, you submit very fast. I look at pickup shares minus 0.5, minus 5 here. Right. Then you can go to these are from yesterday. So we can look at Gabungan, AQRS, ECN. Oh, first thing we do, we go look at turnover. So $9, no need to see lah. 37 cents. Yes, I like this one. Okay, we look at Gabongan waiting for Unza, 79 cents, also good. 93 cents, BJ Bumi. This one, downtrend, also good. Let's look at this. This one, you can see 1 bar goes up, 2 bar sideways, right? But we wait for 1 more bar first before we move up. So out from that, I think this one WCT was much better. This one got uptrend, so we avoid it. This one not downtrend. Molten have also a 1 bar pullback. MBL not bad. All right. IQ, this one not good. Okay. Federal, tak cantik, this one we don't like it. SK, we don't like it. And also Namfat also don't like it. Why? If you notice, PLC, all these are what we call no volume at all. So we go through this whole cycle. Very easy. You can see, you can pick also on Friday. Look at these again in here. Again, minus 0.5 and minus 5, right? Right, and of course, those of you who want to, we have a very good installment payment for our whole package in here to bring you through this news experience of Pony Express method. Pony Express method in here. And if it's volume 370 plus, don't bother, don't touch it at all. Go for the higher turnover. 220 too expensive lah. Because as I said before, we want to have the quantum that is moving up here. Ewin is up. Ewin already gap up. Tak cantik lah. We don't want this one. Star Paper was something that I like. You can see a Star Paper move up, moving sideways in here, just waiting for the kaboom. Boleh jalan punya. Alright. So what I've done here, I've selected Star, George Ken, and Globetronics. Globetronics has started the move up. You can see from here. I went through the whole process. I look on the 29th of August. I look on the 28th of August and 25th of August. Actually, we select this on yesterday, and you can see the outcome of it. Globetronics is up 5%. Star just against me 1% because I buy about 10,000 ringgit. Remember, you're given 50,000 ringgit. And this is how we want to share with the audience, and this is how you want to practice it. Don't use real money yet. Practice it first. If you can make money from here, as I said before, through our backtesting, VSA research, and using this method, I think that the chances for you to make money going forward is very favorable in here. So this is only down 1% and 1% in here. So any question? So why backtesting? Right now, through backtesting, it's like a time machine for the stock. You go back to maybe 2019, 2020, and of course many people say that 2020 or 2021 was a very good year. You should make more, correct? But we are looking at year that didn't do so well, like 2022, which was last year. How did it fare? So we use this time machine, we backtest it, and this is where our team will actually backtest it and share with you how you pretend you make money, entry and exit using those rules I shared. I teach you how to enter just now using the VSA 360, and then all you gotta do is just give you a couple of guidance step by step how to exit, and then from then on you backtest. Or you do right now, you do forward testing with virtual trade. Remember, right? Log into virtual trade. We have a platform for you to do that, and that's one of the good practice. You want to try shorter period, maybe 3 months, hold it for 3 months, hold it for 1 month, and hold it for 2 weeks. But we also notice we share with the members during our orientation, and this coming orientation in 2 weeks time we will share with you the backtesting for the US market, and especially US market context, right? This is where, now what's the minimum volume for small cap stock? At least James, above 5,000 lots or 50,000 shares. Okay, even that I share with you also. No, this is a point of sharing. Now James has been following us for some time, but yet to see you sign up for our premium membership. I hope to see you in our premium membership in here. Great things you learn. I think you've been following me for some time already, right? Yes, that's right. A lot of people have been following me some time. It's just that many of them just don't have the right mindset. You know, they're so used to, remember we talk about the spoon and the shovel. All right, in here, and different period representing bull market, we need to test it in here, which I talk about. Year 2022 was a bad year, and if you notice through our back testing here, right, year 2022 for the different price level in here, we had tested, right, the 49 cent, the 69 cent, and that's why I trade above 19 cents, right? And you notice the share that we talk about George Ken just now, right? It's around 40-50 cents. Correct. Now we try not to pick $2. We notice when you pick $2, the one longer term it works, but shorter term you want to pick those around the 49 cents. We back tested it. Of course, what I talked about earlier, year 2020 was a really bull year. Remember, the market fell, and those shares in 49 and 69 cents, they actually went up 200% and 138%. So if you go on that, year 2022, you didn't lose money. Didn't lose money at all. How is that possible? And right now, again, depending on the price level that we trade, 49 cent range, or you trade the 69, it is still positive, right? And right now it's still positive, as I said before. So if you have 100,000 and you follow those rules in here, you can see 100,000 eventually from 2019. I'm not saying that this is going to happen here. Again, this is all hypothetical, right? Hypothetical, saying that, hey, this is not bad at the system, but might work if you do follow it, right? From 100,000, if you trade below the price 49 cents in here, you can make up to about $500,000. This is again hypothetical representation if you trade the way we are trading. And sometimes I'll just share with you the 3 shares that we pick up just now in here, like George Ken, Star, and the other ones. You can watch this video again. More importantly, get the tools, get the guidance, and they're able to do so in here. And that's why time and time again I appreciate for the current support that we have from our premium membership. Many of you are our members in here. We continue to highlight some of the big benefits in here. Of course, the latest research that we do in our VSA 360, we share that with our member through our onboarding orientation in here. All right. So we have 3 months, 6 months, and 12 months in here, and that's also easy installment. So we're coming back to the last round. Of course, next week we come back on Wednesday. Actually we only keep it for a week. If a week we have a nice, decent George Ken, Star, or the other stocks, we'll probably be out with Globetronic, up 5% already. Okay, up 5%. Then we look for another fast horse. Fast horse, get out. All right, so we don't sort of stay. That's why it's very important we look at the VSA setup in here, knowing what we do, especially through our back testing. We are able to enhance and improve the performance trading that we have. More confidence in here. And of course, you can also use SmartRobie to pick up those shares in here, but you don't have the ST and the LT. You still need to measure it, the long term and the short term trend, making it much easier to use our VSA 360 in here. I know I sounded a bit more, but I do want to share with you, especially for those who are currently our member, like Nora in here. These are very important to set you up in a nice basis in here, because we are very confident going forward trading the small cap stock FEM 70 and will lead. As right now we have market inflow coming in here. Use the discussed criteria. As I said before, one of the things I shared with James is at least volume is minimum 50,000 shares in here. All right. You want to pick shares that has good setup, right? above the ST and the LT that I share with you. Again, a very important formula that we share in here, and more importantly, use the Pentagon guide. We enter the next day, right? Invest in the system. Many of you time and time have followed me before. I do share winnings and also losses, so that's where you win. But most of the time we win more than we lose, and things don't work, we will cut loss. We will cut loss in here. Important is the education. Powered by Pentagon Guider, a system to tell you up signal and down signal in here, and we are the so-called creator of that. So that's all I have for tonight. If you want me to look at any stocks, feel free in here. If not, join our Telegram chat room or like our page on SmartRobie on Martin TF Wong here, where we have great things to share with you in here. Let's look at a couple of orders. Oh, James. yes, James Tu Seong. Great. You came on Tuesday. Thanks a lot, James. But I thought James, you must use Chu Seong, because you look different from the photo too. Thank you, our member. James is also our member in here, encouraging in here. So that's all we have for this evening, right? Yes. Thank you, James. Thank you for your support for the last 2 years. All right. Thank you for our membership in here. We wouldn't be there if not for our members like James and Nora in here. We thank you for your business and your patronage, and we do our best to support you when times like this, where we see small cap stock has opportunities and we are able to thrive into that. Happy Merdeka to all of you. Have a good short break. Some of you may be taking Friday off, then you have a full no, is it tomorrow is Thursday, right? Yeah, Friday off, then you have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and enjoy your holiday. I just came back from Penang. It's a nice place before the big rush. People going up to Penang over the weekend. So that's all I have. Good night. Thank you again, Joseph, been one of our supporter in here for many months. And that's all I have. And good evening. I'll see you later on this coming Friday, the breakfast show. I'll still be back. Bye.